Welcome back. We are the Political Insiders here in New York. I'm John LeBoutillier with Pat Goodell, and our senior executive producer has arrived. Doug was sitting in for you. Martin Hinton. All right. Over the weekend, Bernie Sanders in the Pacific Northwest, another huge crowd in Seattle after getting removed from one place. He had to go to another place. He's being interrupted, Pat, at these rallies by this.
That was a one rally, right?
One, but it happened at another one too, I thought, or something. There's something going on there. But Bernie Sanders is attracting humongous crowds.
He got 28,000 people in Portland, for God's sake.
That's why they're interrupting his rally, is because people are paying attention to his rally. You know?
Yeah,
he is getting crowds where no one is getting, including Donald Trump. He is the left side of the same phenomena going on the Trump side of discontent with the establishment. 28,000 people.
By the way, it just dawned on me when you said that, as we've talked about off the air, Trump is campaigning from his office mostly on the phone and getting on every show. Sanders is retailing. He's out there getting these live crowds. I think Donald Trump would get 28,000 if he went out and wanted to. But anyway, I mean, they're both hitting the public in reaching them in a different way.
We've discussed it a lot. The things that we've talked about dating back to when Pat first introduced this concept of Mr. Smith, this idea that there is an enormous amount of dissatisfaction, and Trump and Sanders represent different solutions to the same problem.
Yes, and that is because the unity of this country from the Occupy Wall Street to the Tea Parties, on the failure of what's going on with our government, the decline of the country, is a near unanimity. And the political class can't figure this out. The press, the political press still does this. Meanwhile, there's Hillary with her server. She is so lucky. Can you imagine if Donald Trump's server were being investigated, or Jeb Bush's by the FBI? What kind of story would be? The press still covers up for her, just like they do for Obama. They are truly the enemies of the American people.
Well, the signal is pretty weak on some of the political GPS for some politicians and people in the media. I mean, they seem to want to tell the same story again, repeat the process and the stories of the last election cycle, when there are far more interesting stories to be told.
But they can't. Their view of the world is such. They have to squeeze what's going on into what the world is, because otherwise they would have to admit that their world has collapsed. And that is why this election year is no means over.
Pat, you have been unbelievably ahead of the curve on the metastasizing cancer in Hillary's base, which you taught us is 4 main groups: young people, women, non-whites, highly educated voters. Today in New Hampshire, Hillary's unveiling an unbelievably expensive $350 billion education plan that will include free community college for anybody in America who goes to community college. Unbelievable. That's what that's going to do. And a whole new different way of student loans and higher taxes to pay for the thing. Why is she doing this?
She's doing it because everything she does is trying to shore up her base. She goes further and further left. This is for young people. Last week it was women. All of this. They are declining.
Touches on the student loan debt issue that a lot of young voters,
which is Elizabeth Warren's issue, which she has been so.
And she did the Urban League attack on Bush to hit non-white voters.
Non-white voters, which is another group she's got. By the way, the Hispanic vote is in real trouble for the Democrats, both on this and on the Iran nuclear deal. They're totally against us. They've got questions about Hillary. It is. Of course, I have to say the stupid party doesn't have
turn them away.
It's going to find a way to turn them off.
Smith would get them.
Smith would wipe them out with this.
Smith would get all these disaffected people that the two parties.
Smith isn't a real person, for the record. Just
he's in the bullpen warming up.
He or she is somewhere out there warming up to come in. But this is what's happening. And our politics is. She is just desperately trying to hold on. She's only 6 points ahead of Bernie Sanders right now in New Hampshire.
Yeah. I know. The other thing about her,
1 minute.
Does she look like she's enjoying herself?
No.
She doesn't look. I mean, I see Bernie Sanders and he's walking in the crowds and he's excited and he's energetic.
The guy that you're substituting who substitutes for you, Doug Schoen, that inside the Clinton operation, they say she's annoyed at having to campaign for the nominee.
What, she just thought she'd win? Is that the?
She thought she'd be annoyed at the nominee. Well, it ain't going to happen.
Some of us believe that that they're entitled, and that entitlement is driving. I'll tell you what. You have Bush and Clinton in this for general election, I guarantee you, you will have a third-party candidate that will smash them.
I will go
Yeah.
differently. Is that neither of them is going to be the nominee. In this
there's a-
year, it makes no sense to go
So much
status
time
quo.
left for so many more things to
Yeah.
go wrong.
All
right.
With Joe Biden, I would be watching this, thinking about this very.
Joe Biden, huh?
Nice little tease. More on that with Harris Faulkner and the Political Insiders Sunday night at 7:30. Please join us. Have a great week. For Doug Schoen's substitute today, Martin Hinton, and Pat Goodell, I'm John LaBoutillier. Have a great week.